Biography of Jonas Salk. He didn't carry weapons, but he fought a deadly war. A war against a silent killer that crippled children and terrified the world. While others searched for fame, he searched for a cure. He tested the vaccine on himself and gave away his discovery for free. Millions walk today because of him. But few know his full story. Watch till the end. This is not just science. It's pure humanity. Chapter 1. A Curious Boy with Big Dreams. Jonas Salk was born on October 28, 1914, in New York City, USA. He came from a poor but hard-working Jewish family. His parents were not well educated, but they believed deeply in the power of learning. From a young age, Jonas was not like other children. While other kids played in the streets, Jonas sat with books, asking big questions about life, science, and the human body. He was a quiet and curious boy who loved to learn. His mother noticed this and always encouraged him to study hard and dream big. She believed he could do something great one day. Jonas studied at a regular public school and later joined the City College of New York. He wanted to become a lawyer at first, but his interest slowly shifted toward medicine. He realized that he didn't want to argue in court. He wanted to help people live healthier lives. After college, he went to the New York University School of Medicine. Unlike many of his classmates who wanted to become rich doctors, Jonas chose to work in a laboratory. He wanted to do research and solve big health problems. Even during his medical training, he showed a calm, kind nature and a deep desire to serve others through science. During his early years in medical school, Jonas met scientists who were working on vaccines. One of them was Dr. Thomas Francis Jr., a leading expert in viruses. Under Dr. Francis's guidance, Salk learned how vaccines are made and how they can protect people from deadly diseases. This training would later help Jonas create one of the most important medical discoveries in history. He was slowly walking toward a destiny that would change the world, but at that time, no one, not even Jonas, knew just how big that change would be. Chapter 2. A Disease that Terrified the World. In the early 1900s, a disease called polio was spreading across the world. Polio, or poliomyelitis, was a viral disease that mostly attacked children. It could cause fever, pain, and even paralysis. Many children who caught polio lost the ability to walk or move their arms. Some had to live inside large machines called iron lungs to help them breathe. Parents were terrified. Schools were closed, swimming pools were empty, and children were kept indoors to stay safe. Every summer, the number of cases rose, and there was no cure. In the United States alone, tens of thousands of children were affected each year. Famous people, like President Franklin D. Roosevelt, also suffered from polio and became paralyzed. The fear of polio was everywhere, and the world cried out for a solution. Scientists began racing to find a vaccine, a way to stop the virus before it could hurt more lives. But it was not easy. Viruses are tricky, and many scientists believed that only a live virus vaccine could work. But that method came with serious risks. A small mistake could infect instead of protect. At this time, Jonas Salk was working at the University of Pittsburgh, where he had started his own lab. He believed that it might be possible to create a vaccine using a killed virus that could no longer cause disease but could still train the body to fight polio. It was a bold idea, and not everyone agreed with him. But Jonas didn't give up. He began his experiments, working day and night with his small team. They were not rich or famous. They just wanted to stop a nightmare. Little did the world know, the answer was very close. Chapter 3. The Vaccine That Changed Everything. Jonas Salk's idea was simple yet powerful. He wanted to kill the polio virus using chemicals so that it could no longer harm the body but would still help the immune system recognize and destroy the real virus. By 1952, he had made a working version of the vaccine and tested it on animals. Then came the hardest part, testing it on people. Salk and his team carefully began human trials. First, they tested it on children at schools and hospitals. Then, in a bold and emotional move, Jonas even tested the vaccine on himself, his wife, and their children. He wanted to prove that it was safe. In 1954, The biggest vaccine trial in history began. Over 1.8 million children in the U.S. were part of the study. These children became known as the polio pioneers. Doctors, nurses, and volunteers all came together to make the trials successful. A year later, on April 12, 1955, the results were announced. The vaccine worked. It was declared safe, effective, and potent. The world rejoiced. People cheered in the streets. Church bells rang across America. Parents cried with relief. The long nightmare of polio was finally ending. Jonas Salk instantly became a global hero. But instead of taking out a patent and making money, he shocked the world with his answer. When a journalist asked who owned the vaccine, Salk said, "There is no patent. Could you patent the sun?" He believed the vaccine belonged to humanity, not to him. His goal was never money or fame, it was to save lives. This simple act of kindness made him not just a great scientist, but also a symbol of hope and selflessness. Chapter 4. A Life of Service and Science. Even after the success of the polio vaccine, Jonas Salk did not stop working. He believed science had a greater role in making the world better. In 1963, he founded the Salk Institute for Biological Studies in La Jolla, California. This beautiful building was not just a research center, it was a place of dreams. Scientists from around the world came to work there, sharing ideas and creating new medicines. Salk believed deeply in the power of human minds working together, without borders or limits. In the 1980s and 1990s, as the world faced a new deadly disease, AIDS, Salk joined the fight again. Though older now, he worked hard to study the virus and help find a vaccine for it. He also wrote books about science and humanity. He often said that science was not just about facts and numbers, it was also about love, responsibility, and the future of humankind. People respected him not only as a genius, but as a deeply moral man who always thought of others before himself. Even in his last years, Salk continued to give interviews and inspire young scientists. He lived a quiet life, never chasing the spotlight. His goal was to leave the world better than he found it. And he did. He often walked near the ocean and looked up at the stars, still full of questions and wonder, just like the curious boy he once was. Chapter 5. The Legacy That Lives On. Jonas Salk passed away on June 23, 1995, at the age of 80. But his legacy is stronger than ever. Today, polio has been almost completely wiped out from the world thanks to vaccines. Millions of people walk, live, and smile because of his discovery. The Salk Institute continues to do amazing research in cancer, aging, brain science, and more. Scientists still walk in his footsteps, inspired by his life and work. Salk didn't invent a new machine or build a tall building. He gave something even more powerful: hope. His work reminds us that science, when guided by kindness and courage, can change the world. He taught us that even in the darkest times, one person's dedication can bring light to millions. Jonas Salk's name will always be remembered, not just in science books, but in the hearts of people across the globe. His story is a lesson for all of us. Believe in yourself, work hard, care for others, and never stop asking big questions. Because one day, your answer could change the world.